Okay, I'm ready when you guys are. Oh, you're fine. Be you. Be authentic. I like it. I like it. Did you like it? That's good. That's good. That's good. Good. I'm ready. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I had to. Yes, I had to move that. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, fantastic. Good. Mine is on 40%. 56, 40, something like that. It's low. Hello? Hello, hello? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So funny. Ah, I like it. Mm. Yeah. Pleasure. Mm. 7. Yes, I was setting up equipment. Yeah, yeah, it was raining. Well, I lie actually. I was in my kitchen at 7 and I heard thunder rolling and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do class today. And I was like, I've already made the tea because I always bring like a healthy tea with me. And I was like, I've already made the tea, so I'm going to have to go. Yeah. And we were out at 7:15 and it's been on and off all day. My 11:30, it was just I was drenched. I was completely drenched. Yeah, my last class completely drenched. So, yeah, it's given me a deeper appreciation for grit, and for being uncomfortable as well because I'm not the kind of person to like to exercise like in heavy clothes wet. I don't mind like sweat wet, but like in heavy clothes wet, it's a different kind like with mud and grass and ugh, it's not my thing. But yeah, it was an interesting. It's and I think like the weather is not going to be great for the next few weeks either, so it's just part of what happens with outdoor fitness. So yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm ready for bed now. I'm so ready for bed. Yeah, squeeze away. Yeah. Mm. It wasn't too cold today. Actually, it was more like no, it was more muggy. It was more, I would say more muggy. Uh, but it's yeah, it is having to make contact with the grass and the sticks and the bits of leaves and the dog poo because people don't always pick up. I did that this morning. Oh, I had quite a few cancellations, and it was interesting to see the reasons why. And that's a huge thing with it's a huge thing with fitness. It's like you can't like I've learned that you can't motivate anybody to do something. If the desire is not there, then if the intrinsic desire is not there for them to want to show up, then whatever you're doing is just a temporary sort of fluke. So I don't try to motivate anybody. When they're in a session exercising, like I'll motivate them to continue because they've already shown up, they've made that effort. But I'm not going to try and like force somebody to like I'm different like that. I'll encourage, which is a little bit different, but I think the motivation, that desire to want to do something irrespective of whether or your energy levels or how you're feeling emotionally, it's something that has to come from inside. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Mm. Mhm. Mhm. It's a tough one, motivation, because you do have some clients where I think some PTs will probably be, of the school of thought where, well, it is your job as a personal trainer to motivate your clients to want to come and train. But I think you have to look at it holistically. It's beyond that one session. It's behaviors outside of that session. And if you're having to motivate them to come to that session, then what's happening with the rest of your fitness plan, the rest of the week, the rest of eating, sleeping, stress, all of that stuff? It's not going to happen. So I will always be there for my clients and I will always encourage them to do something, to show up. And I won't make it easy for them to quit, but I can't motivate somebody to show up and do what they need to do for themselves. I think I look at it a little bit differently. Yeah. Thanks. Mm. Mm-hmm. I always find that the hardest question to answer when people are like, you go to an interview and they're like, tell us a little bit about who you are. And I'm like, who am I? Such a hard question. Okay, I'll start with the basics. So, born and raised in Trinidad and Tobago in the West Indies. So I yearn deeply to go back there every day. Like the weather is beautiful, the food is. What I miss the most is it's hearing like the chickens, the roosters in the morning. That is the sound I miss the most. Yeah, yeah. I just think it's just the most beautiful sound to me. Like hearing the rooster in the morning. Like it's because it's just such like it just owns the world. Like nobody can stop it, nobody can quiet it. It shows up and it's just like. Ah. Really? That is a random fact. Well, they're nature's natural alarm clocks, though, I think. I love them. I love it. That's so cool. I love it. I think that it's just like if I hear a rooster, I'm in heaven. I'm like, I feel at home. I feel absolutely at home. So, yeah. So I probably I love it. No, it's like you're like at least for me, like I used whenever I go back to Trinidad, I used to stay at my aunt's house, Auntie Listra, and the room that I slept in, which was my cousin Ife's room, who's like a sister best friend cousin to me. I love her so much. And I used to look out the window onto the mountains and you would hear the rooster and you'd see the sun rising in the morning. It's just a magical time. It's just magic. I don't think nothing could replace that ever. Yeah, it's just home. Yeah. Mm, so cool. So cool. Yeah. Trinidadian. Really? Wow, you have to go. You have to go. Ah. It's so funny. You've got to go. Like, go to Tobago. I think Tobago is just like the epitome of like relaxation. Like, you step off the plane and like everything just goes like you can just breathe. It's idyllic. It's gorgeous. And I'm not saying it because I'm from that country, but no. Well, I mean, but it's just I don't know. Like they don't. You're not going with England is great, America is great, but we're so fast paced, like everything is like you're going 110 miles an hour. You don't stop. You're not encouraged to stop. Like, the more you can do, the more you can go. It's like you're glorified. But back home, I think life is it's slow. It's like you relaxed. Like, they're like, what is the rush? And that's what I miss the most, it's just being able to slow down and breathe and not feel like you're constantly chasing that next thing. I think that's why so many of us are like frazzled. Mm. Yeah. So from there, I moved to America. I spent another 11 years there. Grew up in Connecticut. Yeah, very cold in wintertime, and we had a long driveway. So my mother would make us. I'm from four, so I'm the second of four. And we would have to shovel this very long driveway. I'd be frozen, frozen by the end. Yeah. So, yeah, like we have rain in England. It's like we have snow in Connecticut in wintertime. Like it's a lot of snow. So I do miss that as well. I do miss my mom's house. And then I came to England to study. Did my first master's in Loughborough. Um, then I had Vivi, and then I did my second master's, and here I am now. So she's been with me through two master's degrees, and that's why people say, "Oh, well, I have kids, so I can't study." And I'm like, I finished my first when she was, I took her to nursery the first day of her eighth week, and I was back and forth breastfeeding every hour, 4 days a week. So there's no like, yeah, you can do it. Like, yeah, when you want something badly, and that's why I say you can't motivate somebody to do something. Like when you want it bad enough, like nothing will stop. I wanted it, nothing stopped me. She was there with me 4 days a week, back and forth to the nursery, sitting down there breastfeeding, going back to the library, breastfeeding, going because she was exclusively breastfed, and she was still like really young. So, and then she did my second masters with me. When she was, I finished it when she was 7. Finished when she was 7. Finished the first one when she was 7 months. Yeah, but that's why I'm saying, like, when people say, yeah, people can do anything. Like, when you want something, like, there is nothing that will stop you, ever. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I think that's an important thing to say. Well, and I don't like to talk about the fact that like I'm single, but I did it like on my own, and I think it's really important for people to know that because people think, oh well, kids stop your life, and I think with Vivi, she's given me more reason to not sit and just wait for life to pass by until she's old enough for me to pursue what I want. I think when we pursue what we're called to do, then you show up in a greater sense to be able to serve your children better. So that's the thing. So that's why like I had to say that because like I feel people just you almost sort of like sabotage your own greatness by using your children as an excuse for you not chasing after what you're supposed to do because it's difficult, it's not easy, none of it was easy. um but when they see you chasing after your dreams and your goals and they see you pursuing irrespective of how difficult it is, it lends more truth and you're more authentic when you say to them, you follow your dreams and something is difficult, don't give up. If you want something, go after it because they can say, well, okay, mommy did it, so I could as well. I know what to do, I know how to navigate that. So that's, yeah, I think that's my golden nugget for today. Like, go after what you want. Mm, mm, mm. Like, yeah, 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 yeah. But I think it's important. Yeah. Mm, mm. Well, that's the thing, because Suki and I had a conversation about that as well, Suki, didn't we? About like the whole like terminology around like around single parents, which I find like I grit my teeth with it because I'm like, I don't like it, I hate it, I don't I it makes my blood boil, because you don't like say like, oh, I'm a double parent. Like, why are you a single parent? Like, I have a whole issue. I have a whole issue with that. Like, I know people like be like, what is she talking about? Like, can't be a double parent, you know? But it's like like it's like people like humans have to like we're always classifying, and I think like we've got to be really like cognizant of when you're classifying because I still don't identify with it. Like, I just see myself as a parent, right? Because it's also a choice that I made. It was a conscious decision that I made as well, which I'm really happy about because it's taught me a lot about life and people and myself. But it's like as soon as you categorize somebody, you're immediately, and I think in your mind, you're black, you're white, you're gay, you're straight, you're Christian, you're atheist, you're single parent, you're married, you're divorced, you're separated, you're widowed. Think about all of that. Immediately you have prejudices attached to every single one of them, whether we want to admit them or not. And that's why I hate being categorized. I'm like, I'm a parent. That's it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Well, we keep it real. I want to be myself. Like, I want to just, I think it's just better to talk about things that people don't, I think a lot of people are afraid to like show what they're not comfortable with because of that fear of being judged or being seen as like prickly. You know, I'm at the point in my life where I'm just like, so be it. So be it. Who you are, like, yeah. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Mm. That's the last part. Yeah. No, no, no. I like that. That is the juice of it. Like knowing what's best for you. I think a lot of us is scared to like go there and feel because like we're always afraid of like offending people and like we're always afraid of like making somebody uncomfortable or politely disagreeing. But I think you get to a point in life where you just have like and like I realized with Vivi one time like she'd always choose the best for herself and I'm like Vivi, why are you doing that? Like think about other people first. And I had to catch myself and I'm like, what nonsense am I teaching my child? Like what absolute nonsense am I teaching? And I was like, Viv, mommy is so sorry. Choose the best for yourself in everything, in every way. Choose the best for yourself. And that means in showing up and like if you've got to speak out and if you have to demand a way to be treated, if you've got to put yourself in a position where because you're standing in your truth, you're, maybe not liked, not understood, but you understand yourself. You can put your head down at night and think, you know what, I did what was best for me. There's nothing better than that. Nothing better than that. Yeah, it's true. See, I love it. Yeah. Oh wow. Happy birthday coming up. Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot. Exactly. Exactly. Mm. Mm. I like that. Mm. Mm. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And that's the whole thing about it, right? Because it's like life is so short. You need to have people around you who are going to light you up, lift you up, support you, and you do the same for them. And it just makes it easier, like, because it's tiring to be anybody but who you are, right? Yeah, it's exhausting. Like, I'm just myself. You could like me, you could love me. Well, that's true. That's true. Mm, mm. It's true. But that is true though, because like like every day, like I always say, like we're always discovering who we are because every day something happens where you've not been in that situation or scenario before. So you're having to connect to self to figure out. It's almost like you're having that inside dialogue, that inner consultation with self to figure out how to like respond to that scenario. And like sometimes you might can respond to it properly and you might think, well, I expected better of you. Like I didn't think you would do that. Like you don't know. I don't think we ever know who we are. We never know who we like. You never know. Like think about like guys, for example. Like if you're dating, and like say you've got like a stud of a guy, and you just let shit slide all the time, and you're just looking at yourself like, who the hell are you? Because you have more standards than this. Like you're always seeing a different side of yourself. So like when people say, "Who are you?" It's like you're constant. It's like, well, I am constantly evolving. I'm always getting to know myself every day. Every day it's a different, a chance to figure out who I am. Yeah. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. Yeah. Well, so I always used to be. So my earliest memory was when there was a school called Phillip Street in Trinidad, and I don't remember her teacher, but she was caramel colored, white gray hair pulled back into a French bun, and very kind face, and she always leaned over me with that like motherly sort of like crouch. Right. That's how I remember her. I don't remember her name at all. And every time I was there, they would have the children sort of like running races, and I never participated. This was when I was like maybe 4 or 5, like preschool. And then one day I remember running, and I just felt like I had wings. I was flying, and she was so proud, and I just felt like, okay, this feels free. This feels like freedom. This feels like me. And then I went to Bishop Sancy Junior School as my primary school. And I was really good in sports, like really, really. There were two other girls. One was Nicola and one was Sonda. And they were the only two girls that gave me competition, but I was faster than some of the boys. And my earliest memories are playing boys catch the girls in the forecourt. And getting beaten because I was so fast. I ripped a boy's shirt and the boys all ganged up on me because they were so mad. They were so mad, and I got beaten by my favorite teacher, Mrs. Walters. I never forgave her for that. I was so angry. And then I moved. So my dad would always say to me, he's like, Lenora, he goes, one day you're going to be very annoyed with yourself because you've got all these cuts up and down your leg. Because I used to run up and down the hill because we lived on a hill with 99 steps in Trinidad. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 99 steps. I was up and down them all the time. I didn't care about like scratches. So then I had a lot of marks on my legs. And so when I moved to America, I didn't run for the first two, I think freshman year I didn't run because I was just very conscious of that. And that's another thing, like if like young girls are listening, like people don't look at things that you think they're looking at. Nobody was looking at my legs, like nobody was. I was so like, oh my God, my legs. And nobody cared. So I missed a whole year out of running. And then sophomore year, I was really good, breaking records, really good. And my desire to be an Olympian happened. And I just trained for the Olympics. In my mind, I was training for the Olympics. Marion Jones was my idol at the time, before like the whole scandal happened. And my coaches were, yeah, it was sad. It was so sad because I really loved her. And then my coaches were like lacrosse and like tennis field hockey coaches. They didn't really know what they were doing. Um, at all. So my mom got me some like those massive, I think I have some of them, the massive exercise physiology books and the strength and conditioning books. And I trained myself. So I train at practice and then come home and train myself. And it was really difficult because I kept getting injured like when I went to university. And my coach never saw my dream. And it was super frustrating because when you're injured as an athlete, that's it. You go to the sidelines. You've got like, they forget you. So I remember having to go to the pool and like, my hair, right? At the time it was relaxed, which it doesn't do well in chlorine. So having to swim, oh God, like that was a whole, like I tried, like I was in the pool, active recovery pool training, fixing my hair, studying, trying to get back into like, a strong enough position to compete, but I never peaked because I was never strong enough physically in terms of after my injury. I had a hairline fracture, and that like, even when I was running like a couple of weeks ago, I felt I was like, oh God, this thing like has never like healed properly. So anyways, so then I came to England. My cousin Sly was like, Nora, there's this thing with what was it, UK sports. You should try out for it. And I was like, what is that? And it was this initiative, Girls for Gold, to get girls or young women who had sporting talent, significant enough to earn Britain a medal to go through this like transfer of sports platform thing. So I went for it, and I ended up going all the way to Bath. So the current Lizzie Arnold, who's, I think she's got like a fair few gold medals for England in bob skeleton. I went down the same path. I competed with her, and I went down the same thing. And then I found out, I was, so I went, so so but you know what? Skeleton wasn't for me because skeleton was cold, and I do not do well with cold. Like, it was cold. The track was cold. There was ice everywhere. There was snow everywhere. It was cold. And on top of that, like I did bob skeleton. So I went through for cycling, and then they were like, no. I went, yeah, but so what they do is like oh my, yeah, head first, and you're like, you can stick your tongue out and touch the track. You've got literally like your helmet, and then they gave us like cut out pieces of like mattress pad on your shoulders. Yeah, that's miles per hour. I don't know. Like, we were two speed. Like, if I let go, that was me done. That was like I saw my life in front of my eyes. I was like, Lenore, if you let go, you are finished. You are finished. It, well, I just wanted to go to the Olympics. But that's the thing. That's when you want something, whatever path will get you there, you go for it. So for me, it was never track and field. I wasn't, yeah, it wasn't track. Cycling, they were like, no. And they put you through rigorous testing. It's not like you think you have you can't just rock up and say, oh, I want to go to the Olympics. Like, they test the life out of you, and you've got to come back with those results for them to say this, yes, no. And that's it. You don't argue with the science. So then after bob skeleton, I didn't get along with the coach at all. And they were like, no, it was fine, because like there's a lot of politics in that as well, and I didn't understand. See, that's the thing. Like, in the Caribbean, in America, you know where you stand. In England, it's like a lot of guessing. I don't do the whole guessing thing. I'm like, you tell me what I need to do. I can't figure it out. Like, I don't see. I see gray. I'm black and white. That works best for me, because otherwise I'm seeing gray, and I'm getting all sorts of scenarios. But there was it's so frustrating. Oh, and there's, well, that Suki, but that's the whole thing. But that's what they were doing. They were making cups of tea, but they were making cups of tea for the coach, and like pure ass kissing. And I was like, what is happening here? And I didn't do that, and I would train myself when I was there as well, because I understood, like, just because you're on trials for 2 weeks doesn't mean you just sit down and wait for the coach to come tell you what to do. Get up and continue training. And I irked him, because I wasn't making cups of tea. I wasn't ass kissing. I was too raw for him. But they were all doing it, and it worked. So I was like, shucks. Like, but I'm like, no, Lenore, that's not you. That's never you. And you know what? I'm really happy it worked out like that, because that's such a dangerous sport. Like, people die on the track, and I think God's spirit source always has a way of protecting you. So I didn't make it for skeleton, but there was another girl named Victoria. She got through, and then she called me a few times to tell me, okay, go through for bobsleigh. So I was then training. I found a fantastic coach in Loughborough. His name is Rich. Rich doesn't talk to me anymore because he was so mad. And he trained me for a long time. And then I was in peak shape. I was in such good shape. I found I was pregnant. And like, he couldn't even look at me. He could not even look at me. He was so like, he was devastated, because like, yeah, because he was, because because it's like, he knew that it's either I don't carry on and I continue my Olympic dream, or I carry on with my pregnancy, and then that's yeah. And for me, It was motherhood. So Vivi has the genes now in her, but yeah, she's like, Mommy, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, Vivi, please. She's like, Mommy, I'm not doing that. I don't want to go to the Olympics. I'm like, you know what? But you know what? I could have done it. Like motherhood didn't have to stop me. Like I could have done it. But for me, I looked at it and I was like, do I want to now put myself at risk of potentially dying and leaving my child motherless because of a dream that I have? So yeah, because you could always go back to it. Like how many Olympians have kids and they come back? So it was never an excuse. It was a pause. It was a pause. And for me, um, yeah, that trap, that ice, it just wasn't happening. Um, so I finished my master's. So I went back and I finished my master's because I took a break because my thesis involved like a lot of lab work, testing cyclist, and they didn't want me to obviously go into labor in the lab. So, but this is good. But this is God again because like that was such a difficult project. Like when you like this is another tip for people when you're in university doing thesis projects, like your final year projects, whatever you call them, never go for a project where you have to recruit volunteers unless you know it's something where either one, you've got a lot of money to entice them and there's a lot of rewards and incentives, or two, you've got a lot of people who can guarantee show up for every single thing. So I didn't know that. Yeah, and I went for cyclists and I had to, there we go. And I would have never passed that because I would have never had enough participants. So they had to give me a different a literature review, which was really really intense, but still like because a literature review, the one that I did, it required a team of people. I did it on my own. And then after that, I took a break. Oh no, I went back to work, took a break, reevaluated life. I was like, what do I want to do? Because I'm an attachment parenting mom, breastfeed, co-sleep, all of that stuff. And that's where I had to sort of find myself. Life became really interesting. What am I called here to do? What are my passions? What can I do where I'm not putting my daughter at risk of me not being there because I'm, like that's the kind of mother I am. I don't feel like our dream should put children, um, you know, like you've made the choice to have them, then make sure that their life is as comfortable as possible. So I couldn't do exercise physiology because all of the jobs were like weekends and evenings, and that was like a no for me. So I did corporate for a while, dibble dabble out of PT. And then I ended up in Northampton and didn't like Vivian's first school. Well, she went to two schools. I'm very picky like that. Didn't like the first school. The teacher held her hand like that, and I was like, not happening. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, this is why I think parents have to be so clocked on, like just little signals. She didn't notice I was looking at her. She held her hand like that, and I was like, she is not happy. She's not. So she spent like one day in that school, not even a day, like 2 hours. And then the next school I didn't like either. And I was like, God, like, what do I do here? The job perspective career wise is not sufficient to where I want to go in life because I knew that I would always have my own business. I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like it. And so I don't like it at all. And I prayed a lot, and I had this big willow tree in front of me, and like God gave me so much direction. Like God's spirit was, I got a lot of direction, and I was like, okay, I need to study again. Education opens doors, 100%. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be a physiotherapist. Did not get into one university for physiotherapy. It's like, okay, let's try strength and conditioning. I got a partial scholarship to one university in Sheffield, but that was like far away from everybody. I'm like, okay, let's try again. Too far. And then I tried again. I was like, okay, nutrition. And I had this preconceived notion that like nutrition was just like so easy and like, why study nutrition? Far from it. Anyway, so I applied to 10, got into 9 out of 10 with a full scholarship. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm meant to do. And then the doors, just full scholarship, doors kept opening up. I got a job. Vivi came with me to the interview. Same day, same thing. And then her school, my job, the university, everything, one straight line driving. And I did everything in a straight. But I caveat that by saying I had a lot of, like under my couch here, I've got these massive journals, and I used to do a lot of visualization, a lot of prayer, a lot of fasting back then when I was into that, a lot of taking myself away and trying to heal my shit, because it is shit. Because no, it's nothing, you can't say it's shit. trying to figure out like what I wanted, and being brave enough to go after that, knowing that I wouldn't always have anybody with me, and being prepared to do that on my own with Vivi, and understanding that once I started I couldn't stop. So that took a long time. It took a long time and a lot of grit. And I always say to Vivi, and I know people might say, oh, you can't say that. But I always say to her, Vivi, you'll always be my favorite child because she has been through it with me. Like, she has seen everything. And you're like, you can't have a favorite child. But I know, like, Vivi will never, ever, ever want for anything. Like, I'm paying her school fees, her university fees, shopping fund, first house, first car, first. And, like, I am the bank of Vivian. Like, whatever she wants. Like, it's. Well, I just think, like, when parents tend to forget, like, when they're going through things, like, your parent, like, you're not exclusive, like, you're not an exclusivity where, like, it's just you. Like your children are there as well, so they also pick up the effects of that. So anyways, yes, question. No. Sorry, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know if I'm saying too much, but it's a lot. So I'll finish up quickly. So after that, like I finished up my second masters. Vivi came to check all the schools up with me, and the schools that I said, Vivi, like, you have to tell me if you like this school, because I think children are like very tuned to spirit, and like we don't see that. And so there was this one school that I really liked, like fantastic playground, staff seemed nice, like diverse, everything. I was like, ooh, this is the school. And Vivi was like, no, mommy, it smells like poo. I was like, what? She's like, mommy, it really, yeah. I was like, what? She's like, mommy, it smells really bad. And I was like, okay, fine. She's like, I don't want to go here. And thank God I listened to her, because that school, because when you go into an area, you come from somewhere, you go into a new area, you don't see things as they are. You see things as you see them in that moment because you're not familiar with it. And thank God, like, I listened to her, because I would never put her in that school. So we ended up in a fantastic school, and I worked, I finished my masters, and then lockdown happened, and then it was like, okay, like, life was like, start your own stuff. So here we are. That's the story. Yeah. Thank God. Yeah, Trish. Yeah. Yeah, that was scary. Yeah. Lockdown, yeah. Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, sometimes I think I talk too much. I think I'm like, the part of me is like, Lenora, shut up. Yeah, it is. The waffling spirit is on me. Oh gosh. You're welcome. Mm. Well, you know what I tend to, because I was an athlete, I always wanted to like work with athletes, because you can push them, you can beast the hell out of them, you can be like 100 more, and they're like, okay, coach, like they'll just go for it. Normal people, you can't do that with. And people are like, Nora, you're so hard, you're so hard. Yeah, I watch. I do. But I watch everything, but I tend to attract people who have like a lot of trauma, a lot of like something bad has happened to them, like either like a traumatic birth, or like there's some sort of abuse, or something is just not right. And so my approach with nutrition is really different. I don't touch nutrition first. I don't go to food first. I don't touch it. So I'm training a few new people this week, as in science, because mm, because I don't think it's the right way to do it. I think that okay, so like if it's like, if we all know that you have to eat properly and exercise and sleep properly and rest, and take care of like your emotions and all of that jazz. But we don't do it. Why not? We all I'm not going to tell you anything new about food and behave and exercise that you don't already know. Like I won't. Um we already know it. But it's so true though. Like, like England, like we have obese kids, America, it's off the chains. Like even today I saw this like, I don't even know the name of the cartoon, but this guy was like small head, like what's like that shape, like a I don't even know, like a snowdrop. Going into a chicken shop and I'm like, what are you doing? Like they shouldn't serve him. And I looked at him. I looked at, and that should be a thing. Like it's discriminatory, but like it's also life saving because I'm like he's eating his way to like a heart attack, and you know why? I looked at him and I said, I wonder what pain he's trying to like subdue. I wonder what happened to him, where he's using food to soothe. And a lot of the women that I get in my group, not so much the men, but mostly the women, are at some sort of a pivotal point where they're like, I need help, but I don't know how. So I think fitness is going to help. But as part of, because a lot of people go to PT first, right, or a group exercise class, or they might try slimming or the Weight Watchers, but usually it's like the fitness thing first. Um, and I always say like try to find out what's happening with you. So my consultation form is like 20 pages. Like I do a deep dive, right? To figure everything out. Your sex life, how you're having sex, like hormones, are you happy? Do you know yourself? Like all of that stuff, because then you can get a true picture of what's happening and how they connect to food. So I have a client right now and she is giving me pictures of shit. But I don't judge her because when I heard her story, she's married, husband doesn't help. She feels trapped at home. She uses food to soothe because, she doesn't know who she is. If she has time to herself, if she doesn't, because she's basically manning the home on her own, who are you? And so, of course, you're going to go for that chocolate or that glass of wine or the sugar because it's sensual, it's instant gratification. You feel good, also highly addicting. And then you feel like crap. And humans are addicted to, like in your life, there's this thing where you're addicted to the hormones that are released from certain states. Like, so if people tend to have a lot of stress in their life, you'll always recreate those patterns. So for me, it's about like, yeah, like in my family, we realized it as well. Even in relationships, you can see like you might have a good patch and then you're like, things are too good. I need to stir shit up. And then you create drama for no reason. And it's the release of chemicals that you get because like it puts you back in that state. That's a whole nother thing. And so for me, I don't touch food until because they know what to eat. You walk into the grocery store, it's laid out there. Walk in first, choose the best stuff first. The fruits, the vegetables. It's right there. It's right there. Fill up on that face. But you walk, you zoom, zoom, zoom. They put it, yeah. But then you see what you just said. I did a video on that as a treat. Like, so like that's a whole like so when they say for me a treat. Well, what is a treat? Would you classify a mango or pineapple as a treat? No. You'll classify like red velvet cake or pizza or fried chicken. That's a treat. But when you look at what that's doing to your system, it's not a treat to your body. And so for me, like but then like this is the thing with women, right? They're like, oh, I had a treat today. I was so naughty. How can you be naughty for having a treat? That is the mind. That's the mind. I don't want to use a bad word, but that's the mind jam. Yes, and so what they do is they feel really bad about food. It's true, and then you feel really bad because you've had a treat and you feel really naughty, and then think about the conversation that you have with yourself. Like, oh, I can't do anything. Like, I'm not good enough. Like, I can't even stick to it. Like, I'm fat and useless. Useless. I might as well just not try. And it's that whole cycle you can't get out of because then you're also fighting the additives in the food as well. Because like KFC, which I have KFC every now and then. When I feel for something, I have it. I don't have this hang up with, oh my god, because I'm a nutritionist, like the foods are like these things I stay away from. If I want something, I have it because I know I can control myself to stop at a certain amount, and I don't crave it. I don't crave it after. Like I don't go like all guns blazing. I'm gonna eat the whole shop out. So no, exactly. So this is what you have to teach women. Mm. That's a good one. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Food suits. Yeah. But it suits. Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. Like, don't have it in the house, and food suits. So I think until you can teach a woman how to self-soothe without using food, what is the point of going? What is the point of saying go have a salad or so, make a juice or so? That's wasting time, and it's frustrating her. So for me, it is because then she'll feel like she'll fail. She might have a shitty day, and then want to go to food, but Nora says go have a green drink, and she's by the part of her is like, you don't want to have a green drink. What's that going to do for you? Have the green drink. Next day you show up to PT. Did you have your green drink? No. They feel rubbish. So for me, it's about getting her to connect to herself. Um, when she is ready. Some people are not ready. I have clients right now who are not ready, and I'm just like, I don't think we need to start yet. They're not. You have to be ready to do it. And then when she's understanding herself and how to connect to herself, how to remove things that are stressing her out, how to have a vision for her life, because many of us don't as moms, how to set herself up to thrive. What is thriving looking like for her? What is her life? All of that has to come into place first before you touch food. It's like you have to have the foundation of the house set before you put everything else. And to me that's I mean, other people might disagree, but yeah, I don't touch food first. I work on self, and then I think you can equip a woman to eat properly. Mm. You did? How? You gained weight with a personal trainer? But no, but were you eating the right foods though? Yeah. You can't out eat a bad diet. No. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's a common one. But if you're working out more, depending on what you're doing, you will need more. You will need more calories. It's just the types of food choices that you're making for the type of exercise that you're doing too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm. Oh no. See? Yeah. Yeah. No. Well, Suki, I when you come to my classes, we can sort that out. Yeah, I know. Look, she's like, oh. Thank you. I do. I do. I do. Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh, no, I can't. Oh, yeah. I can't. I can't. Mm-mm. Yeah. Sophie can motivate Sophie. Ah, okay. Mm, yeah. That's another thing, yeah. But I would say nothing you said sounded like a class would be your thing. I think you should do. That's the thing, right? Exercises. I think we've sort of boxed fitness into hits or Tabata or Zumba, you know. But exercise and being physically fit, it's so much more than that. And that's why I say to people, go and find what you like to do. And you just said, surfing or skiing, all that stuff. That's a great workout. Surfing is not. I tried. I couldn't stay on the board. Snowboarding. Oh my god! Like that stuff is hard. So go do what you like to do and do it as often as you can, as safely as you can, and then. I mean, then it doesn't become a chore. It's like you wake up excited to go do that thing, and nobody has to motivate you to do it. So do what you like to do. It's that simple. Like it really is that simple. I think. Yeah. Yeah, I know. But do they have? Yeah, that's a shame. I tried. It's not the same, obviously. Like I guess you can't compare like the indoor snow globes to what like proper. You can't compare it at all. No, but that's why. But there's so much that you can. There's so much. Yeah, and it's just like taking the time as well to because like you don't always consider everything. So for me, it's like sitting down, like doing some research on like different types of activities, like adventure sports or whatever it is, and then saying, okay, I'll give that a go. And I'll try that. Like having a month of different activities to try. That's motivating. You'd be like, okay, today I'm going to try this. Tomorrow I'm going to try that. Yeah. 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 Every day is fresh and new. So I think having an open mindset. Mm, mm, mm. Don't do them. I don't do them. Yeah. 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 It's a fad. It's an industry. Yeah. Is it the Beyonce one with the lemonade and maple syrup and cayenne pepper? Was it that? Yeah. I don't do diets. Like the research on that is like it's so strong. People don't stick with it a year after you gain back the weight that you lost. Plus, mm, doesn't work. Like you're restricting yourself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think diets are like against the human nature. Like nobody likes to be like excuse me, like think about a child, right? You tell them no. You know that marshmallow thing on what is it? TikTok has it, right? You tell a child don't have that. Wait. It's the same thing with a diet. Yeah, and they take it. It's the same thing with a diet. Like don't have it. Wait until you lose the weight. Like it doesn't make any. And diets are like it's a like what billion trillion dollar pound industry. Yeah, or yeah, it's true. Or don't think of like the pink elephant, like you see a pink elephant. So for me, see, I don't know. I'm not a diet person. I think I think I think the only place where a diet like would have a place is like if you're dealing with like a medical condition, for example, where there are things that you should not have because it's a I think then that's fine. Like if you have, for example, diabetes or like kidney issues or like genetic problems, um gene mutations, like okay, diets absolutely have a place. But for a normal person, quote unquote, trying to like as in no medical conditions, trying to lose weight, I don't think you need to diet. I think you need to like have a mindful, really mindful, open relationship with food. If you want a piece of fried chicken, have a piece of fried chicken. You know, figure out, one, do I need to have the fried chicken? Like, two, am I on my period? Am I craving things? If you're supplementing and your minerals and your vitamins are all, you know, balanced, and you feel like having a piece of fried chicken for dinner, have the fried chicken. And like, guess what? You're not going to want fried chicken for the rest of the month. If you want a slice of cake, like my client said to me the other day, like, I'm resisting this slice of cake. I said, don't resist. Have a small slice, move on with the rest of your life, because then that desire, you see, and then you go, you don't have the slice, you finish half the cake because you're like, bloody hell, like, nobody can tell me what to do. I'm gonna eat this whole cake, damn it. So I don't like so you don't like, I don't think we should humans do not like to be restricted by nature. We don't like to be told what to do. We don't like to know that there are things that we can't have, because that's a very thing. Like, think about it with guys, like it's the same thing, like food and people, like man and woman. Like, if you play hard to get with a guy, or if you just show no interest, like he goes after you, like he's hunting you, right? We hunt food. But we hunt food. If you're like, you can't have that. Like, that's a thing that you can't take your mind off of. So it's true. So I just say, have a little bit of everything, but be aware. Like, when you're eating that cake and that fried chicken, because nothing is off limits, right? But when you're eating it or having a glass of wine, think about, okay, is this helping me to accomplish my goals, or is this taking me further away from my goals? And if you're happy with the answer that you answer for each one, that decision is up to you. So it's relation. Are you creating more work for yourself in the end? So yeah, I don't diet. Huh? It's true. Yeah, it's true. Mm, mm. And it's hard. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Giving me chills, because like I have stuff to work through, and I'm like, yeah, yeah. It's so true. Mm. 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 Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mm. 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 Well, that's how I think that we should all be working though, because like with I'm 35 now, right? I started when I was 15, so I've been in the industry for a long time. And yeah, so I talk from experience, and I just I just feel like there are categories to it. Like they're your athletes, and they have a whole demographic and a whole approach, and they've got their support, like with performance lifestyle coaches and physiotherapists and S&C coaches and all that jazz. They have that. Everything is taken care. Like for the athlete, everything is already there for them, right? They've got mental, emotional, physical, rehabilitation, everything. But for the normal person, you don't have that. And they've got to figure out what pieces they need to put in, and it's overwhelming. So for me, when like I say I'm holistic, because I am, because I don't work with a client, and like for example, if I have a client who, like I like the teacher, you have to have your whole plan written out, right? So you have it in like little stages, and every day you're working out. So this is what you're supposed to do today, because this is your goal in 3 months. That is it. But I have a client, and she has had a really bad night, hasn't slept very well, feels stressed the shit out, has eaten rubbish, and rocks up to training, and she's like, Nora, I feel like hell. Now you've got to think about like the hormonal response that's happening in her body. She's in stress state, fight or flight. I'm not going to make her go do a workout that isn't in line with what her body needs. So before we even start training, guess what we do? We're talking. We are talking, like most of my sessions, we start 15, 20, 25 minutes. They're just talking. And that's a whole other thing with personal training that I think they're going to recognize. It's a lot of psychological stuff happening. Like you become, in a way, like a therapist. Like I don't want to say therapist, because it's like not doing justice to like therapists, but you are in a form, like they're offloading so much, and they're like asking you for guidance. Obviously, like I refer on, and I say like you need to, like I strongly recommend all of my clients get some sort of talk therapy, because I do it, like we all need it. um but I feel like in order to serve a client best or well at all, it has got to be the holistic thing. And then like nutritionally, going back to what you spoke about, Sophie, I really believe in mostly plant-based, organic, whole foods. I love, mucking up concoctions. Like jamu was my last thing. I'm always fermenting something, and then that has its place. So even though I say like have your fried chicken or have your slice of cake, that's within the whole bigger picture of everything else that you're eating is just like, bombarding your body with nutrients. So when you just get that little blip out of the way, it's nothing, because you're nourishing yourself so much. So I think if personal training and fitness in general is approached in the right way, like think about it, right? When you're exercising or you're stretching, what does your body do? It goes, ah, or you go, ah, you're releasing, and that's emotions as well. And so people want to open up because you've started that process. You started the process. So I think like people need to understand that it's not just a squat. Like I was training this girl the other day. We were running and she broke down crying, right? It's a physical release, and I'm like, okay, your body just needed a ride. It has to be holistic. It cannot just be like, let me make you do like 100 push-ups. It's true. Yeah. 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 It's all connected. It's all connected. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Okay. Good. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's how it should. I think that's how it should be. Could be wrong, but that's the way I do it. Hmm. But it's like you come and you feel like you've exercised, like you've offloaded, you've connected, you've released. It's more than my sessions are hard, like they're proper hard, but like it's more than that. Like you're back to yourself. Yeah. Mm. Mm. There you go. love it. Thank you. Yeah. Um, like I need to do more. I feel, yeah, I feel frustrated. I do. I feel frustrated because it's just like I do feel like I do feel frustrated because I just feel like if I could get one, then I can get more. And how many more, yeah, like how many more people are out there who just are so lost. And I also believe in divine timing, but I don't ever feel like, oh my God, I'm the bomb because I just did that. Like I don't ever I never feel like that. I'm like, I always think, well, what have I missed? Where else could I have done? Like, I'm a perfectionist like that. Where else could I have like done more? Yeah, because it's like we said in the beginning, right? People are like we're always discovering new parts of ourselves, and it's like, okay, what else do they need help with? What else could I have potentially missed? And for me, like before, I was really into like wanting to train athletes and things like that. And now my calling is for women who are overweight. Like I just want to like big women, like women who like have lost touch with themselves. Obese women. I really want to like tune in to them and take them on like a healing journey through fitness and through food, but to find themselves again. Because at the end of the day, a lot of it, like I had somebody say to me that, when they lose weight, they miss it. They miss being overweight, right? That's a whole, yeah, it's that's the thing. Like I think a lot of it is you're holding on to that fat subconsciously as a protective mechanism. Yeah, it is. I don't get it. I don't understand it like to that level because I've never been, and this is me being, well, I've been honest the whole time, but like people, people like, because you don't want to be seen as like anything less because people are like, well, you haven't walked in my shoes, so you won't understand it. Like that part I don't understand. Like I've been overweight like after having Viv, like it was so hard to lose weight. Oh my God, I couldn't do a squat. I tried a lunge. I was like, what is happening here? Couldn't even do it. And I so shocked. Like even now, like I don't have my pre-baby body back, and like it's a conversation I have with myself. Like, okay, this is what it is, and so I can understand it from that way, having to love myself irrespective of not having the body that I had before. But using weight as a protective mechanism, I think that ties into trauma. And this is the thing that I think we're missing in the industry. We can't work with somebody and get them to physically release stuff and to shift like that, but not support them through the mental side of it. Because that's when they stop and they go back to gaining weight and they end up missing it. That's the thing for me. Uh yeah. Yeah, so that's my mission now. My mission now is to try and figure out how to support these women to have, yeah, but yeah, that because you know what gets me as well, because it's not just the women, it's the kids. So in Vivi's school, oh gosh, it just like I feel it here. It grates me. There's this particular family, and I'm not judging her. I don't look at people and think I'm hoity-toity, and I'm like, oh God, look at them. Like I'm not like I'm not like that. But I look at them and my heart breaks because beautiful people, but everybody is like significantly overweight, and like you can see the effects on like their hair, like early balding, like black under eyes, and all of that stuff. And like the kids are like with this little girl every single time some sort of bag of sweets or McDonald's or something in her hands every single day. And I'm looking at it like, and then the parents are like snacking on sweets as well. So it's not just the woman, it's the family. And when you look at the children, those children are going to be interacting with your children, and you look at the negative impact of like sweets and like the sugar and the misbehavior. You cannot tell me as a human being that what happens to somebody else does not on some level affect you. It Every part affects the whole. So for me, I'm looking at the woman, I'm also looking at her children, and how, because you'll never see like a big woman and a skinny child. Most likely it's matching, because what's happening in the home, she's buying food to feed her. You understand the behaviors, she's subconsciously teaching her children. Like, she's not eating rubbish in secret where the kids don't, like, most likely it's not happening. So for me, it's about trying to heal the woman, and then that heals the child, and you won't have a need for programs like Mend, for overweight kids and stuff, because there's crap in the home, because the mom has lost touch with herself. When the mom feels good, she's going to want to go eat nourishing foods and teach her children how to sort shit out when life gets hard, because life is not easy. Yeah, so that's my mission now, and it feels monumentally difficult, but like, this is where life is saying, Nora, this is where you are going. This is where you are going. That is, yeah, it is. And it should be an interesting one, but I just feel like I feel connected to them in a different way. Like, before I had Viv and I was like, young, hot and fit. I never got it. I never got it. Like, I would just be like, like, they just, I don't understand why they can't just go to the gym and exercise. It's not that hard. Like, I do it. Like, why can't? And now it's like, like, can't, like, you don't even have the right to judge anybody like that, because you do not know what people have been through. And for me, it's trying to connect to them, and trying to see, okay, where can I just feel like it's my duty almost to do that. It is now, in a weird way, because it was never my demographic, but now I feel like I must. So yeah. Mm. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. I hope so. Well, Suki, I would say this, right? My purpose, really and truly, this is why I have, like, remember I said I have stuff to fix? My purpose, really and truly, is on an island with roosters and dogs. Chilling and this, yeah, that is what I want to do. Like, I feel like I need to be on a beach on some island with just like loads of dogs around me, just like in bush. That's what I want to do, but like, I'm in England, like, exercising. So it's like trying to like, and even though I know this is like part of what I'm meant to do, maybe it will take me there. It's, yeah, and that's what I need to figure out. Like, it's like, you have these deep desires, like a desire and I think a calling are two different things. But for me, it's like, how do I bring the two together? How do they intertwine? So yeah, always does, right? Amen to that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. But I'm gonna say one more thing too, right? And then you guys can ask me any more questions if you have any. You know that I did a crystal healing session with Suki. What was it? Tuesday night we did it? It was Tuesday night, right? And should I be quiet then? Oh, sorry. Okay. So, Because you guys, like, when we do talks on fitness and nutrition, people want to know, like, should you supplement? Should you take like whey protein? Is whey protein better than like vegan? Is vegetarian better than, like, what is it, keto? Or like, what diet is, what type of eating is the best? I don't agree with it. I like, for long term, it was developed for people with like epilepsy and stuff like that. So it's not something it works, but I don't think that anything like that should be done long term. And it's like intermittent fasting. It's like all of these things have their place, right? And I say try it, see if it works, but like, can you make it into a lifestyle? Is this a lifestyle for you? If you can't make, if it's not sustainable to be a lifestyle, then it's a no. So, ooh, that's a good business idea. That's a good business idea. That's a gap in the market. Seriously. Yeah, that's fun. That somebody could do that. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, like the keto, yeah, that's a hard one. But like, when you look at things like that, like, I think people are more open-minded to like trying things out with food, and like almost willing to survive on like nothing in the name of like diets, right? When excuse me, when I was growing up, Christian household, anything not in the Bible from the devil, fast and pray, and like, get everything, all the spirits out. And as I started to get older and question like who God is and what God is, right? Because I think I'm sensitive to spirit. I realized that, okay, I need to step away from religion and step into self and figure out like where God within me is taking me, and who is God within me, and what does source look like, all of that juicy stuff, right? And then and this happened in the last year with lockdown, and people say, oh, lockdown was so hard, and it was the most terrible thing that happened to like humankind. In some ways, yes, but in some ways, no. I always think that, there's always like that diamond in the mud. And for me, with lockdown, it gave me a really good opportunity to tap into different types of energy, like where. So I met Carolee, and she did like her beautiful magic. And Suki and I, we dived into chakra healing, all of which by the way, if you're like a Christian, like, you don't touch that stuff, right? It's like, go fast and pray, and go to your pastor, and that's it. And it takes the power, but it's true, right? And it takes the power away from you, because you're always like, imagine the pastors, like, say something happened, and like the pastor, like, he's busy because everybody has like drama, and you're like, oh gosh, like, I can't get to the pastor, so poor me, like, I'm like. So anyway, and then like Gabriella and her dowser, and then Suki and her crystals. And I, after working with Gabriella, shift on shift on shift, 2 hours after, like that, Suki, stuff happened. Like, stuff that, like, because I won't go into detail with that, but stuff shifted like that, from stones, from crystals, right? And I would have never guessed. Yeah, okay, so right? Yeah, because there's too much to talk about, but like, I like texted Suki kind of freaking out, and I'm like, okay, Suki, what happened here? Because I wasn't ready for that. And I wasn't ready. You did it Tuesday, it was Saturday, Friday night. I had a message from somebody who I hadn't spoken to in like 8 years, and I was like, what the hell is this? And so I think being like working with like fitness and nutrition and stuff like that, I think healing also has a very important place, because I cannot justifiably say that, women need to be healed from trauma, etc., and not within the same breath talk about the importance of bringing in different types of therapies and teaching people to be open to that. Because when I say to like my clients, oh, I'm learning how to meditate with crystals, they look at me like I'm mad. Like, what? Latoria, a little bit of a nutter. And I own that. I own it. Yeah, and I think stuff like what you guys do, like connecting with, and I really, really, really feel so blessed and grateful, like connecting to angels, and going into like theta healing and past life therapy and all of these regressions and stuff like that. We do not talk about that in fitness at all. It is never I have never come across anybody who has discussed that. And tell me why you won't discuss stuff like this when you have women who are struggling to have miscarriages, and you link that to sexual abuse, right? Fear of abandonment, not wanting to get pregnant, because maybe the whole, like, for me, potentially being left or not having a partner to start life with. And this is where all of it interconnects. And this is where it's true, right? Mm-hmm. Mm, 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 mm. And that's why I think like all of these healing therapies need to be spoken about more. And like, the whole, people like to say, oh, like it's woo. Why does it have to be woo? Why can't it just be what it is? And okay, either you're open to it or not. And so for me, a part of like what I want to do with these women is to start connecting them with different types of like reflexology, Reiki, Theta, all of these angel healing, karmic clearing, all of these things that we have not been like exposed to, because a lot of people come from a specific type of religion. Like I don't think there's a religion for any of this stuff. And all of this stuff, like think about it, like you take a stone, you set your intention in the stone, you connect to it, and you just allow magic. Like that takes the power away from a priest, from a pastor, from any higher other person. You have it there. It's nobody controls you. That's it. That's it. That is it. So for me, it's like giving women back their power through other types, like connecting them to other types of. That's it. Mm. I have to unlearn it, yeah. Because even when you say that, I'm like, oh no, like I am not going there. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm. Mm. It's true. Chemical reaction kind of thing. Mm. Ah, yeah, I was I was tired when I came on, but like this just felt great. Like this lit me up. This is awesome. This is really good. Yeah, you guys are not giving it. No, you guys are. Oh gosh. Okay, so we'll stop. Yeah, because I did say 2 hours, and we're still going here. I'm happy to come on. You guys are awesome. Okay, specific things. Yeah, because I know we kind of went. I am. We went everywhere today. We went everywhere. Oh wow. Wow, you guys put a lot of work in this. Wow. Sorry, I know we went off. Yeah, but I wanted to be like I wanted to be true and not because I think people pick up on when you're like not there anymore. Thank you. Yeah. Ah, thank you. Oh, I love it. You're so sweet. Oh, you guys are so lovely. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I'll let that sit. I'll let that sit. I'll let that sit. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I've gotten up my yawn. Sorry. Yes. Okay, so my website is www.norajanefit.com. My Instagram is NoraJaneFit1, and my Facebook is Nora Jane Fit. And I've got a group called the Nora Jane Fit Holistic Wellness, I think Holistic Wellness Community, something like that. So yeah, I've got a few. So where you can find me, Nora Jane Fit, yeah. I'm on there. The Nora Jane Fit. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Mm. I didn't want to say anything because do you guys do the crystal thing and the meditation now, or do I need to stay on, or do I go? Ah, okay, great. Yes, please. I want to see. I did. I did. Yeah. I thank. I did. Yeah. Oh my god. Tinder is like, yeah, I like Tinder. Oh my gosh, poor thing. Oh, poor guy. Poor thing. I'm sad. Oh, oh my God. Oh my God. In a year. Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh. Ooh. That's a shame. Mm. Oh, bless him. That's so sad. That's so sad. You guys are quite funny. Wow. Wow. Yes. I actually am enjoying it. Genuinely. I'm gonna check it out. 100%. 100%. 100%. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Ah. Mm. Oh, I got chills. Mm. That's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. Oh, what? What? Suki, you never told me that. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. Oh, I love this. Oh, yes. I did not know you could sing like that. I love it. That's amazing. So cool. You're welcome. Yeah, wow. I know, because like all this like smiling and like yeah. Oh, that'd be really nice. Yeah. So good. That's good. Hmm. Oh. Oh, I like that. That's beautiful. That's real. Yeah. Oh, oh, that's so cool. I like the first one. Yeah, can I see the first one again, please? That's so cool. Yeah, nature's incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Hmm. That's so cool. I love that. Sleepy. I want to sleep. Yeah. Thank you very much. Mm, I can. Um, Fair came up for me. Like there's a part of me that's really scared to step out. That came up for me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I don't mean to. Yeah, it's that like fair. It's good though. And I pictured like when I was doing it, I saw another stone like a turquoise, greeny, like goldy, multicolored, speckled, pretty stone. I don't know if there's a stone like that exists, but that's what I saw. I don't know if there's one like that. Wow. Wow. I want it. Yeah, that's true. That's powerful. Welcome. A pleasure. Right back at you. Thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. I really do. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Not a problem. A pleasure. Yeah. I know. I'm gonna go sleep. Thank you, guys. Yes, 100%. Yeah, your meditation just made me like go like that. Gonna go rub some like rosewood on me and sleep. I love rosewood. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, because it's. Oh God. See you guys later. Have a good night, darlings. See you guys. Bye. What do I? What